back. But that's whatever. I let it go. Rised. Lord Vader.
Rised.
We just watched Toy Story. Yeah, we just watched Toy Story. We just got some poppy corn and some cookie dough from the store before. Just a reminder what I said for sure. Yeah, we just watched Toy Story.
Welcome back to another amazing episode of Rounds of the Knight's Table. I'm Jim.
I am Eric.
And today we're going to talk about Toy Story 4. Stars the usual, Tom Hanks, Tim Allen. This film, like all the films, is an adventure. This film picks up after Toy Story 3. Right now it shows you 9 years before when Bo Peep goes missing.
Or gets given away.
When Bonnie's family goes on a road trip, RV, and of course has to bring all the toys. If you have kids, you know that they're bringing all the toys. And then they're going to cry when you say, all right, you can bring 15. Like, that's not enough. By the way, we are sipping on Blue Moon. Belgian white. What's white? You never told us white. Bonnie starts kindergarten. She has an orientation, which I've never seen that shit
Isn't
before.
it technically just the first day?
But it wasn't, though, because it was a week before the first day. So
like,
they're like,
who does that? What kind of private school mess is this?
She makes Forky, you know, he just wants to be in the trash, because that's what he is
He's
trash.
made of pieces of trash.
So he's like, trash! It's just so warm and comfy. Woody's mission, as Woody is left in the closet now, he's not played with really that much anymore.
He's no longer the lead toy.
Road to go down.
To go from being top dog for 19 years, I think he said.
Because Woody has to have a mission.
Yeah.
To keep Forky safe. And anyway, they end up at some amusement park because Forky jumped out. And so Woody's like, hey, I'll meet you guys in 5 miles. I don't know where you guys are going. I don't know where you guys are going to end up, but I'll meet you there anyway. They end up sidetracked, passing this antique store right outside of this amusement park, where he sees Bo Peep's light, or what he thinks is Bo Peep's light.
Yeah, her lamp.
Ends up running across these creepy-ass...
Mafia style.
Run across these Goosebumps ventriloquist dummies. They were creepy as hell. And then a villain that you know when you get in a toy store. You know the villain when you see it. And of course run into Bo Peep. And introduce us to Key and Peele's characters. How can we forget? It's the year of Keanu Reeves.
Oh,
and this dude shows up as Duke Kaboom.
Yes, you Canada.
That's what he says. The bad for me, I really felt this movie was a good movie. I enjoyed it. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to put on a front, save it for my score. This movie, I enjoyed the hell out of it. It was good. It had some laugh out loud moments. Theater wasn't too crowded with kids.
Thank God. It was early in the day.
There was one annoying kid in the back.
I mean, it is a kid's movie.
It is a kid's movie. Man, fuck those kids. I was there first 24 years ago. Who the fuck were they? This wasn't as good as 3. For me, it wasn't as good as 3. Was it touching emotionally? Sure. I thought so. But it wasn't as emotional to me as 3 was. 3 was really emotional. You think that they're going into the fire and that's it. And they've accepted it. They've accepted their fate. And even with that, even after that, Andy gives his toys to Bonnie. He's reluctant to give over Woody, but then does it anyway. And you're like, oh man, it was sad and it was great. And you get that in the end with this, with Woody. But I don't think it reached that emotional level that I got in part 3. And another bad for me is the villain wasn't like as evil.
Wasn't really a villain.
Yeah, she ended up not being a villain anyway. I mean, they did kind of just try to jack Woody's voice box. Because her voice box wasn't working. Gabby Gabby? Yo, Gabby Gabby. She never had the joy of being played with because she was a defect right out the box. And she was like, hey, I bet yours works just fine. They try to take it, and he ends up cutting a deal because he knows Forky's more important to Bonnie right now than his voice box. It ends up blowing up in her face. The girl pulls her string and is like, meh, fuck you. But she doesn't want the toy. And so Woody, of course, feels compelled to fix this. He's got to remedy all this. But my question is this. Who's leading those dummies now? I just never got that, like, bad guy moment. Lotso he was a good villain. I thought there was those good moments. Sid in the first one. And then
Sid, probably the best Toy Story villain.
Oh, yeah. Let's go out and play.
Where are your rebel friends now? How does nobody see any of the stuff going on around them?
The two people that have seen it, Molly, when she was a baby, when she saw them, skeet around with...
Ski.
When they came around with Slinky Dog and RC Car.
And then
of course, Sid. That dude is a serial killer for sure. And a garbage man. Makes sense. Where is he going to dump the bodies? I think that was
underusage of Rex, underusage of Jesse even.
I think that was on purpose.
Well, obviously. It's more Woody's final story type thing. It's more to do with him, and you get a little bit of buzz, but not much.
Plus new characters, I think.
Well, that too.
I think that's the route that they wanted to go because, they kind of did the same thing in Star Wars. They killed off everybody else, but with that, you didn't get that much Luke Skywalker. You got a little bit.
Because it's not Luke's story anymore.
Of course not. Skywalker.
Rise of.
He must have taken a Viagra. Let's talk about the good. The movie was just really good. I thought it was really good.
Very entertaining.
I could sit here and say, oh, it was unnecessary, and I could be a stickler for that. Like, they could have just ended it. They could have just ended it at 3, and I would have been fine with that.
We all would have been fine.
This was a good addition, and I think Keanu Reeves is just on fire right now.
This is the year of Keanu.
Whoa. Keanu became a butler. Keanu Jeeves. The Key and Peele, the way they were in this movie, they were planning stuff on how to get this key from the antique shop owner, and it was hilarious. It always ended up with them, like, attacking her. And then Buzz with his inner voice.
The inner voice.
He's like, he'd press his button and it would tell him something, and he's like,
Thank you, inner voice.
Bo Peep being back.
That was great.
Well, they didn't tell you at all what happened in part 3, how she ended up gone. And, that was...
I think that's probably why they threw in that 9 years later thing. Because people, I think, were complaining back then about, oh my god, where's Bo Peep? Why is she not here anymore?
Woody, for the ending, if you don't want to know, get the fuck out of here.
Go watch the movie.
Go watch the movie. Come back, talk. Leave us a message.
Just pause it and go watch the movie. Okay, now that you're back.
Just like that. Woody stays behind with Bo Peep. And to be a lost toy. And I thought it was a good moment.
I love Buzz's comment, though. He's not lost. Not anymore.
Not anymore, yeah. And what did I say earlier in the movie? Because at
about
one point,
20 minutes in, maybe?
Bonnie took the sheriff thing off him and put it on Jesse, and Jesse ends up giving it back to him, and I said, watch. He's going to give it to her at the end. And he did. It was just cinematic, and I thought that's how I felt. And
it was a pretty good moment, though, him passing
for sure.
the torch kind of thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, Forky may have been the most important toy in Bonnie's life at the time, but Jessie, unwittingly, had become the number one toy, in a way.
She was the new sheriff in town. I think this is the last one.
They
said that shit about the last one, too.
I can see where they could go off and do a couple different things. They could make like Toy Story 5 with more of the OG toys with Bonnie. They could also do possibly a Toy Story TV series following Woody and Bo.
Yeah, but then you got to pay Tom Hanks every episode for that.
Pay his son.
Colin Hanks?
Speaking of Tom Hanks, though, great performance in this movie.
Tom Hanks is a national treasure.
Keanu, fabulous in this. They threw in the OG. Whoa.
My final thought. It made a great addition to the Toy Story family. It wasn't like Cars. Since Pixar has clearly run out of ideas and don't want to make new movies anymore. Well, I mean, they have Onward coming out. Where's A Bug's Life? The fuck, man? That was like the second one that came out. Way overdue. You guys had threw The Incredibles out there. I threw A Bug's Life out there. This one looked great. I mean, you compare it to the original. It's just head and shoulders above it. Visually. 8.6 out of 10.
Not bad. I thoroughly enjoyed this movie. I thought it was a great addition to the overall story. Give it a 9.
If you've seen Toy Story 4, leave us a message in the comments. If you haven't, go check it out. Hit that like. press that subscribe, and we will check you out next time. Only on Rounds of the Knight's Table. And leave us a goddamn message. Don't be cheap. It's free. Please. And hit that like. I don't know. That's a check. That's Nike or whoever.
Just do it.